August is Artist Appreciation Month in the U.S., and in honor of that, Paw Prints Publishing would like to highlight our forthcoming picture book, Miss Edmonia and Her Class of Wildfires, the first book in the Museum Lives in Me series. Written by author, documentarian, and bookstore owner Victoria Scott Miller. The Museum Lives in Me is a picture book series that explores concepts of self-discovery, empowerment, and the power of art, as inspired by our world's museums and the collections within them. Each book follows a fictional classroom of diverse children and their teacher during their visit to a museum, and the various sub-stories of emotional growth that unfold as each child engages with the exhibits they see. First inspired by a partnership with the North Carolina Museum of Art, the series was conceptualized and will be written by author and children's bookseller Victoria Scott Miller, and the first book in the series will be illustrated by visual artist Francisco Santoyo. Different artists will illustrate subsequent installments. In this first book, young readers are introduced to Miss Edmonia and her class of elementary-aged wildfires during a day at the art museum. The story follows two main characters, Kara-Clementine and Attilio, as they explore the museum and discover the character traits that make them special. We sat down with Victoria and her agent, Regina Brooks of Serendipity Literary, to learn a little more about the series and this first installment.
So I'm excited to be with you too. The original motivation for writing The Museum Lives in Me came from being a parent that wanted to introduce our children to museum spaces. And when we would go into these spaces, we realized that we were not always centered. It didn't tell the full spectrum of human light. And I wanted to create a series that would allow us to not only assess how art directly impacts us, but also can give life to what is in our own human museums, what is worth archiving, what is worth preserving. And I'm excited that this story and this series gets to bring that to life.
One of the things that I love about this idea is the fact that oftentimes the first experience with art for children is in children's books.
Absolutely.
And the illustrators bring museum and artwork to life for them. So in the book itself, how do you have children, how do they experience that museum experience in the book itself?
Yeah, so in the first installment of The Museum Lives in Me, we have three characters. So we have Miss Edmonia, who is the teacher navigating her class of wildfires. She speaks in rhyme and in acronyms. And then you have Kara-Clementine, who I named after Kara Walker, and Clementine Hunter. And then you have Attilio, who has sensory processing disorder and autism. So his experience with the museum is completely different. It actually mimics my youngest son, Emerson. And so a lot of times people don't think of color as being loud and color having sound. And so throughout the book, you'll be able to see Attilio have his own experience with music when he encounters a piece that has, life and New Orleans razzy soul in it. And then they ultimately end up finding themselves within certain pieces throughout the museum. And it's been exciting to write too.
That's great. So yeah. This is the first of how many participating?
This is the first of 5 installments. And so I had the divine privilege to be able to go to museums all across the country to really explore their collection, to see which ones are going to be, able to be brought to life. And we'll be going all over the country to do that.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
So what is your hope for the reader, children, when they read this book? What is your hope for them?
I hope that when a child reads this book, that they understand that the first museum they will ever go to is the one inside of themselves, and that they're able to leave knowing their full humanity is a work of art, and that they are worthy of being celebrated as a piece of art. So I hope that that's what they can.
That's fantastic. And we're at the American Library Association, where there are so many books being featured. And one of the things that I love about this project is the fact that when you look at the cover, maybe you can show the cover. When you look at the cover, it's so bright and inviting. And I hope that young people will see that as well. And looking forward to more of these, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. And you can purchase anywhere books are sold March 2024. Thank you.